James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable, true school sports empire. Y'all know the rest, man. Now listen, wanted to come give some thoughts on my boy, Filip Hrgovic, because y'all know I'm like the president. I am the president of the American chapter of the Filip Hrgovic fan club, right? So I'm a big fan. But I gotta be honest, you know, it's been getting very hard to defend him over the years because, you know, even when he wins, he doesn't really like look sensational. He never really looks sensational in his fights. He's very good at grinding out wins. And he had this fight with David Adeleye yesterday, you know, a fight where he was about like a 6-1 favorite. And really and truthfully, you know, I wanted him to get a knockout. I felt like this is a fight where I wanted to see him get a knockout. You know, you're fighting a guy who, yes, granted, Adeleye can punch, and he showed that in the 8th round, but he's a European level heavyweight. Let's be real. So, am I satisfied with Herovic's performance? Surprisingly, yes, I am. I didn't think I would be if he didn't get a knockout, but I actually am. And the reason why I'm encouraged by his performance is because, you know, my big gripe with Hrgovic has been the fact that he seems to fade a lot in these fights. You know, his stamina is not great. He's not punching hard in the latter rounds, so he has to resort to boxing. You know, and one thing about Hrgovic is that he is a bit of an arm puncher. He just kind of throws his punches and he don't really turn his hips to get full leverage. So I don't even think he's really hitting these guys with everything he has because he's not even, in my opinion, I don't think he's punching through the target with his hips, but that's neither here nor there. This fight I was encouraged because, you know, you had Adeleye, who was very dangerous, big time puncher that you know was game. He was outclassed in terms of boxing skills, and you know he had the experience to deal with somebody at Hrgovic's level, but he was game and dangerous for all 10 rounds, right? So what I was encouraged about was Hrgovic's work rate. I felt like he was strong in the later rounds. His work rate and his pace was a lot better in this fight than the Joe Joyce fight, which he took on short notice. So it looks like that time that he's been spending out there in Big Bear, California with Abel Sanchez at the Summit Gym, it's actually improving his conditioning. And my thing is, like, you know, I don't own as many shares in the Filip Hrgovic stock as I used to, but I still do hold some shares in the Filip Hrgovic stock. I still believe in him. I still think he's got a chance to go all the way and become heavyweight champion at some point. And I think the first encouraging sign with this new relationship with Abel Sanchez is, you know, Filip Hrgovic showing better stamina in the latter rounds, because I can't think of a time when he's fought someone who can punch, like a puncher like Adeleye, where he's getting knockdowns in the 8th round. You know, normally after about 4 or 5 rounds, Hrgovic is he has to resort to boxing because he either A, gets cut, or B, starts fading. That wasn't the case this fight. He was strong for the duration of all 10 rounds, and you know, I think there's still more improvements to be had. And it's another, in my opinion, you know, Adelaide's not a war level guy, but you know, that's 2 wins in a row since he lost to Dubois. He beat Joyce on short notice. He beat Adeleye, you know, who is a big who can punch. So I think that it's 2 wins. He's right there in the top 5, and you know, I think his career right now, if you're talking about who is the most interesting heavyweight in the division right now, I think it's got to be Hrgovic. He's one of them. I mean, apart from Moses, Itauma, I think Hrgovic is probably one of the more intriguing stories of heavyweight right now, because Filip Hrgovic, we've seen him come into the boxing with a lot of hype, you know, from being in camps with Klitschko and AJ and, you know, all these top heavyweights, and Wilder. So he had a lot of hype. Then a lot of guys didn't want to fight him, like your Michael Hunters and Andy Ruizes. You know, they turned down opportunities to fight in eliminator fights with him when he was, you know, a contender coming up. And then, you know, he got his big shot against Dubois. He lost that fight. Even before that, he fought Zhang in a fight where a lot of people thought he lost, but that win actually aged very well because Zhang went on to knock out guys. He's lost to Dubois. He's been through his trials and tribulations inside the ring with these tough fights. outside the ring with the passing of his father, the birth of his child, which was around the Dubois fight, which did contribute, to him and maybe not having the best camp. It is what it is. It's part and parcel of the game. Now he's on his revenge arc, and now they're talking about doing him versus Moses Itama, which, I think that's an interesting fight, because Moses, I don't think Moses fights Hrgovic next. I think people are saying that because people are being prisoners of the moment. But let's be real about Moses for a second. We didn't really learn anything yesterday about him fighting Dillian White. Dillian White, I'm not even sure he would beat a guy like Fabio Wardley or David Adeleye at this stage of his career. And Moses did what he was supposed to do. So did we learn anything about Moses that we didn't know already? No. We know Moses is fast. We know he's explosive. We know he can punch. And he showed those same qualities in this fight. So nothing new was learned. He still hasn't been in a fight past the 6th round. And until we really see him in a fight where, he goes rounds and has to really, face some resistance, all we're going to know about Moses is that he's strong and he's sharp and he's fast and he can knock these guys out in a couple rounds. We know Hrgovic has a great chin. We saw it in the fight with David Adeleye. They had the round of the year in round 8, damn near, because it's arguably the round of the year, because Hrgovic got that knockdown early in the 8th round. And then he got a little over-aggressive and careless because, with Hrgovic, he pulls straight back out after he lets his punches go. So he pulls back out real tall. And many times that makes him very hittable. And it happened in that instance with Adeleye. So he was out on his feet. Adeleye was peppering him with 5, 6, 7 hard unanswered punches. And credit to Hrgovic's chin and his durability. He does have the best chin in the heavyweight division, and I would go as far as to say, if we're ranking the top 3 best chins in boxing, his is probably right up there, just behind maybe like a guy like Canelo Alvarez. Hrgovic does not get stopped, so his chin is keeping him in a lot of these fights. And I think right now, even though people will say I'm crazy, maybe they might say I'm biased, I don't think Moses is ready for a Hrgovic fight, because one thing about Hrgovic we do know is if he's going to get hit, and he's not going to go nowhere. And we don't know how Moses is going to act when he hits somebody and they don't go anywhere. And on top of that, Moses is a southpaw, and we know what the southpaw killer is in boxing, which is the straight right hand. So if you're an orthodox fighter and you can land the straight right hand on the southpaw, you can neutralize the southpaw. Hrgovic probably has the most accurate straight right hand in the entire heavyweight division. Even if he does throw it, as an arm punch, it still is accurate, it still scores, and he knows how to set it up in different ways. So I can't count him out in that fight. A lot of people count Hrgovic out in that fight. I can't count him out against Moses because of his experience, because of his durability, because of his never quit attitude, because of his accuracy. I'd give him a chance, big chance actually. But Moses said to himself in the interview, he's going to go fight Jermaine Franklin because that's who Ben Davison and his team wanted to fight, because he wants rounds and his team feels like Franklin's the guy to give them some rounds. So I digress. But yeah, Hrgovic could fight Itama. He could fight Parker. He could fight AJ. He could fight Caballero. I mean, there's all kinds of fights out there for him. And I think whoever he fights next, it's going to be one of those names I mentioned. Whoever he fights next, if he can get over the hump and win, he will get his shot at redemption and fulfilling the prophecy of becoming the first Croatian heavyweight champion in the world. So yeah, great fight yesterday. Shout out to Adeleye. Adeleye, he ain't no punk. He just doesn't have the experience. But definitely one of the better punchers at heavyweight if we're talking about pure punching power. Yeah, it was a really good fight. I enjoyed it. So shout out to both fighters for stepping up to the plate and making it a great fight happen. And yeah, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.